A-level maths students, do not even think about skipping this video if you want to get that A star. This is exactly what I did to revise to get nearly 100%, which is an A star. If you don't know me, my name's Tilly. I got an A star in A-level maths alongside 4 other A stars in my A-level, and I'm giving you my top study tips and tricks every single day to help you get those grades as well. So be sure to follow so you don't miss out. One of the key differences between GCSE and A-level for me was that my A-level maths teachers were all really good, and my GCSE maths teachers were not that good. And trust me when I say a good teacher can make or break your grade. But a good teacher is not the be all and end all. Like I just said, I had a pretty bad teacher in GCSE math, but I still came out with a grade 9. So how did I do that? YouTube. Even at A-level, I use YouTube because there was just topics and concepts I just didn't understand. I'm looking at you, mechanic. Yes, people will say the only way to get better at maths is through practice. That is absolutely true, but it doesn't matter how many practice questions you do if you fundamentally do not understand why you're doing the maths. Equation of a trajectory, cool, we've got a formula, I knew how to plug numbers into it, but if they changed any element of that question, I was so finished, like before exam season. I had to spend so long on that topic because I just didn't understand it. And that's okay to admit, it doesn't make me stupid. Go to your teachers and ask for help. I asked my teacher for help so much. You need to identify the topics that you're weakest at. And often for people, it is that stats and it is that mechanics. So you just like spend no time on it relative to the rest of the course because they're only worth a sixth each, whereas pure is worth, 2/3. Number 2, revision cheat sheets. So like, for example, for integration, if I had an integral, I would have sort of like a cheat sheet about how to approach it. So was this integral in this specific form? If so, this is how you approach it. Because obviously, if integrals are in a specific form, you need to do algebraic fractions. If they're in a certain form, you can do it by substitution. If you're in a certain form, you can do it by parts, etc, etc. But basically just having a sheet that outlines when you use each of those different strategies so you're not fumbling around in the exam trying out the different methods and trying to figure out which one's working. It's so important because you are so highly time pressured in that exam. You don't need to revise everything. So let's look at year 12, the start of year 12, you're doing simple differentiation. I have no doubt in my mind that you are completely able to do simple differentiation if you are differentiating trig. Like, I've got no doubts about that. So don't look at the whole specification and be like, oh my goodness, there's so many topics, because you are naturally revising those easier topics when you're revising the more complex topics. You have sort of like built this mathematical toolkit. Final piece of advice, as much as you don't want to do it and as frustrating as it is, you need to do those practice paper questions for those topics that you find hardest. It genuinely made me want to tear my hair out. And it still does. I study economics at uni, and when I don't understand the maths in something, I still want to tear my hair out. But unfortunately, the only way you get better is by asking why, and figuring out why things happen. By the way, if you haven't saved this video yet, what are you doing? If you watched until the